Have you tried reading a will recently? The planning of an estate can be very complicated, and to make things even messier, the legal jargon and Latin phrases seem to get in the way. So how about I explain a few of those Latin phrases to you? Let's begin with per stirpes and per capita. These are two methods of estate distribution that I will quickly explain to you to help you better understand. The language used in your will is very important, and being clear and concise can make or break your will. These Latin phrases help lawyers to be clear and concise and to cut down on the need for even more legal jargon. So let's begin with per capita. This is Latin for by the head. Think of it as a head count. If you are present, you will receive your share. If not, your share will be divided up among those who are present. This method of distribution is called direct entitlement. The owner of the will names people at one or more generational level, children alone or children and grandchildren, and says, those who are alive when I die will get my assets. For instance, let's look at this diagram here. So let's say that the testator who carries the will in question has only named his 3 children as beneficiaries. That means that each child will receive, for instance, a third of the assets. But if one of them dies, the estate is now divided equally among the 2 other beneficiaries and not any descendants of the child that passed. This remains true even if the testator declared that his children and grandchildren are beneficiaries, where the asset or estate will be equally divided among all of the living beneficiaries. Now, per stirpes. It is Latin for by the stock or by the roots. Think of it in relation to a family tree. Even if a beneficiary dies before the owner of the will dies, their share will travel up the family tree to their children. This method of distribution is called entitlement through representation. Most of the time, per stirpes is used when the assets are to be divided among the children with the added condition that if a child is dead, the child's own children will still get her share or his share equally. To better explain per stirpes, let's take a look at this diagram. Now, assuming that equal weight is given to the testator's children and grandchildren, the weight or amount of assets is divided equally between each family branch and not each family individual. As demonstrated here, each family branch receives 1/3 of the estate, but how that third is divided depends on the number of grandchildren within each branch. So, if one of the children pass away, his or her shares simply travel upwards and towards his kids, and it doesn't undergo any redivision among all of the beneficiaries as seen with per capita. So, there you have it, a bit of legal jargon all clarified and, hopefully, simplified for your understanding. Writing a will that will ensure that your family is taken care of in the way that you intended can be very frustrating, but at Afolabi Law, we make it simple. So if you're thinking about getting your will done, or if you're simply looking for more information, visit us at afolabi.law to get things started.